Hi everybody, I wanted to talk a little bit today about change. I think we can all agree there's a lot of change happening around the place, and it's not all doom and gloom. There's a lot of good change happening too. I know some of you out there are probably going through some interesting maybe mergers and acquisitions, maybe launching a new product line, that sort of thing, but there is some negative change about as well. Of course, we've heard about companies that are going through redundancies, maybe closing factories, just discontinuing product lines and that sort of thing. So yeah, I wanted to talk about change and some of the essentials that you need to remember in terms of the communications around these change. I think as business leaders, maybe if you're in the HR team, you're busy working on the detail, and sometimes the communications can come at the very last minute, but you really need to include communications as you plan along the way. And I think there's 5 key things to remember when you're going through change. The first thing is to keep in mind all of your audiences. And of course, I always think, staff is your most important audience. But, then you might have clients, you might have suppliers, and sometimes it's a big enough change that it will affect your community or the public. So be thinking about who are your audiences that need to know about this change happening. And then once you know the audiences, you got to think about the timing. So there might be a certain date when you decide, yep, this is the date that we're getting the news out. Well, who needs to hear first and second? Who do you want to hear directly from you? Maybe a phone call rather than them, reading it in the newspaper. So think about your timing. I think that's really important. And then I guess you need to be thinking about the public nature of what you're announcing. Is the media going to be interested? Will people be talking about it on social media? So you need to get ahead of that, and you need to be thinking about how you're going to handle those conversations. Fourth, and really important, is what are you going to say? And I think spend a lot of time thinking about this. Get people around the table and really be workshopping that, making sure that it's accurate, that people can't poke holes into it. That it's obviously truthful, and that 6 months down the line, if someone looks back at what you said, that you have that it all makes sense, basically. So be thinking about what you're saying. And finally, who's going to deliver that news? So, usually you have a company spokesperson for this sort of thing, but just because it's just that one person talking, don't forget that, your executive team, your board, they need to be informed. They need to know what the key messages are, because somebody's probably going to ask them a question or two along the way. So make sure everybody's in the loop and the person that's delivering it is really well prepared. Yeah, so those are 5 things, I suppose, to think about as you're having some change in your place. Hopefully that helps to get you through. Thanks.